funds, unlimited access to funds and money. They were being pushed a lot of money. There were billionaires or wealthy people who were being flaunted. Their videos were being flaunted. Whether those claims are true or false, we do not know, but there is no dearth of funds. Thirdly, the challenge is, right now this person is claiming it happened in a karate school. But how do I prove this legally, that this particular school is a den of radicalization? Because it's hugely subjective.
Anand, we have gone over terrorism to low profile but high intensity radicalization that continues unabated. And the problem are threefold. Number one, the dimension of radicalization has altered. You don't have sermons being given from seminaries by clerics. It happens in a very sophisticated manner. Secondly, even for lone wolf attack, you need radicalization. No one does lone wolf attack without radicalization.
Correct.
Third is, of course, there is money involved, because without funds you cannot do it. Fundamentally, we have been able to, as a country, deal with narco-terrorism to a great extent, but money comes through remittance. When remittance is sent to India, actually we take pride that $107 billion this last financial year came. But a considerable amount, if not considerable, at least a certain amount of that money comes to something called pocket funding. Like if your remittance is less than 1 lakh per month or within a certain duration, you don't need to tell it to the authorities. And a part of that money is then channelized to certain areas, certain organizations, including PFI. So there's a very, very sophisticated network through which it happens. And we see a pattern which has happened in case of Pakistan as well, where the rich used the poor Muslims to become flag bearer of jihad and extremism. And so here also we see a pattern where the rich is funding. The rich doesn't want their kids to get into this mess. They want the poor kids to do it, vulnerable kids, and they channelize their anger for whatever reason the anger might be, for personal reason perhaps also. They channelize that anger and project the Indian state or other states as the enemy, and the only way to salvation is by joining the path of ISIS. But whether it is ISIS or without ISIS, radicalization is a problem, and we do not still have a legal mandate and a legal backup to counter radicalization.
Correct.
We can counter terrorism, but there is no legal mandate to counter radicalization.
And boy, how do I prove, and how does it stand testimony in a court of law? Can the law enforcement today nab somebody under the aspect that this person is radicalized and is radicalizing? Or does the law turn around and say, has this person caused any harm to society? Has he been involved in an unlawful activity till now? And that's the gray area. Does that make the challenge of the law enforcement all the more difficult, or the job of the law enforcement all the more challenging? Let's get to that aspect, listening to what Anvit tried to do on ground.